The village of Esperanza nestled amongst rolling hills. The air, usually sweet with the scent of jasmine, now carried a chill. A palpable fear clung to the cobblestone streets. Shadows stretched long and gnarled as the sun dipped below the horizon. It was the hour when mothers would usher their children indoors. The very air seemed to whisper a single name, La Llorona. For generations, her tale had haunted Esperanza. La Llorona, the weeping woman. She was a specter of grief, forever searching for the children she had drowned. Her wails, filled with sorrow and rage, echoed through the night, a chilling reminder of her eternal torment. Before the tragedy, there was Maria. A vision of loveliness with eyes as dark as the river, and a smile that could shame the sun. Her presence was like a gentle breeze on a warm summer day, bringing comfort and joy to everyone around her. Her laughter was like the tinkling of a mountain stream, a sound that could lift the spirits of even the weariest soul. It echoed through the village, a melody that everyone cherished. Maria, the village beauty, was loved by all. Her kindness knew no bounds and her generosity was legendary. She was the heart and soul of the village, a beacon of light in everyone's lives. She was the embodiment of joy, her spirit as bright as the flowers she wore in her hair. Each flower she chose had a story, a memory, a piece of her heart woven into it. Life was simple, filled with the rhythms of nature and the warmth of community. The villagers worked together, celebrated together, and faced hardships together. It was a life of unity and harmony. She dreamt of a love as pure as the morning dew, a love that would blossom and endure. Her dreams were filled with visions of a future where love and happiness reigned supreme.
Then came Don Alejandro, a wealthy landowner from the city, whose arrival stirred the quiet village, and I, captivated by his charm, surrendered my heart. His presence was like a whirlwind, sweeping me off my feet and into a world of dreams and possibilities. Little did I know, this was the beginning of a journey that would change everything.
Their courtship was a whirlwind, a passionate dance that seemed to defy the very fabric of time. Every moment they spent together was filled with an intensity that left them both breathless. Alejandro, with his easy charm and city manners, swept Maria off her feet. His words were like honey, sweet and irresistible, and his promises painted a picture of a future that seemed almost too perfect to be true. He promised her a life of comfort and adoration, a life where every day would be filled with joy, and every night with love. Maria, captivated by his vision, could see nothing but a bright future ahead.
Blinded by love, I saw only the reflection of my own desires in his eyes. I believed in the dream he sold me, a dream where we would be happy forever, untouched by the harsh realities of life.
They married under the golden light of a summer sunset, surrounded by friends and family who wished them well. The ceremony was a beautiful blend of tradition and romance, a perfect start to what Maria believed would be a perfect life. For a while, Maria lived in a haze of happiness, her life a tapestry woven with love and contentment. Their home was filled with laughter and warmth, a sanctuary from the outside world. 2 sons blessed their union, their laughter echoing the joy that filled Maria's life. But Alejandro grew distant. The man who once couldn't bear to be apart from her now seemed to find solace in the shadows. The city lights, once so alluring, now beckoned him back. The allure of the city, with its endless possibilities and temptations, began to pull him away from the family he had promised to cherish. He began to make excuses, his visits to Esperanza becoming infrequent and brief. Each time he left, Maria felt a piece of her heart go with him, leaving her feeling more and more empty.
My heart, once overflowing with love, began to crack under the weight of his neglect. The dreams we had built together started to crumble, and I was left to pick up the pieces of a life that was no longer mine.
One moonless night, Alejandro returned, but he was not alone. A fine carriage stood behind him, and from its depths emerged a woman of wealth and sophistication.
Alejandro's betrayal cut through me like a knife. The world around me blurred. The laughter of my children turned to mocking echoes.
Despair, dark and suffocating, wrapped its icy fingers around her. She wandered aimlessly through the village, her mind a storm of anguish and betrayal. She reached the riverbank, the rushing water mirroring the turmoil within her. A terrible thought took root in her madness, whispering that if she could not have her children, no one would. The villagers found Maria's shawl by the river's edge. It lay like a discarded shroud, a silent testament to the tragedy that had unfolded. Her children were never found, their laughter silenced beneath the river's murky depths. Grief, sharp and unrelenting, consumed Maria. Gone was the vibrant woman who had once been the heart of Esperanza. In her place was a specter, her beauty consumed by sorrow. She became La Llorona, a soul forever tethered to the river, her cries a mournful symphony of despair echoing through the night. From that day forward, her wails became a chilling serenade to Esperanza's nights. "Ay, mis hijos, my children," her voice, filled with an unearthly sorrow, would carry on the wind.
Some whispered of seeing her, a wisp of white gliding along the riverbank, her face forever hidden beneath a veil of tangled black hair.
Mothers would clutch their children close, warning them of the woman who stole little ones away. La Llorona became a cautionary tale, a chilling reminder of the devastating power of despair and the consequences of a mother's broken heart. Night after night, La Llorona searched. Her cries, a heart-wrenching symphony of pain and longing, echoed through the darkness. She drifted along the riverbank, her white gown billowing like a phantom sail. Her skeletal fingers, cold as the river itself, reached out as if to grasp the children she could never reclaim. Some say her tears, constant and icy, were the source of the river's chill. Others claimed that the mournful rustling of the willows was her weeping, a lament that would continue until the end of time. But all agreed that La Llorona was a creature of profound sorrow, forever searching, forever mourning the loss of her beloved children. Fear became a constant companion to the villagers of Esperanza. Gone were the carefree gatherings by the river, replaced by a pervasive sense of dread. Parents kept a watchful eye on their children, fearing the spectral figure that haunted the night. The river, once a source of life and joy, was now a place of fear, its waters reflecting the sorrow that had seeped into the very soul of the village. Even the bravest souls avoided venturing out after dark. The legend of La Llorona had woven itself into the fabric of their lives, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of their once peaceful existence.
Miguel and Elena, two young lovers, scoffed at the tales. They dismissed the stories as mere superstition, the ramblings of frightened villagers. Their love, strong and defiant, fueled their skepticism. One warm summer night, they stole away to the riverbank, seeking solace in each other's arms.
The air was heavy with the scent of jasmine, and the moon cast long, dancing shadows through the trees. They laughed at the whispers of the wind, their love a beacon against the encroaching darkness. But as the night wore on, the air grew colder, the playful whispers transforming into mournful cries.
A chill wind swept across the river, stirring the silence.
Elena clutched Miguel's arm, a sudden unease settling upon her. From the depths of the river, a wail arose, piercing the night. "Ay, mis hijos!" The voice, filled with an otherworldly sorrow, sent shivers down their spines.
Elena's blood ran cold. She recognized the voice from countless whispered warnings. La Llorona. They turned to flee, but the figure was upon them, her white gown billowing, her face obscured by a veil of tangled hair. Miguel and Elena escaped that night, but the encounter left its mark. The terror they felt was unlike anything they had ever experienced before. It was as if the very air around them had turned cold, and the shadows had come alive with the wails of the damned. They would never forget the piercing cry that echoed through the darkness, a cry that seemed to reach into their very souls. They carried the terror of that night in their hearts, a stark reminder of the power of La Llorona's legend. Every whisper of the wind, every rustle of the leaves, brought back memories of that fateful night. They spoke of it in hushed tones, afraid that even mentioning her name might summon her once more. The legend of La Llorona was not just a story, it was a living, breathing entity that haunted their every waking moment. The tale of La Llorona continues to echo through the generations. Around campfires and in the safety of their homes, parents would tell their children the story, hoping to instill a sense of caution and respect for the unknown. The legend served as a warning, a reminder that some things are best left undisturbed. It was a tale that bound the community together, a shared history of fear and reverence. She is a chilling reminder of the depths of human despair and the enduring power of a mother's love and loss. Her story is one of unimaginable sorrow, a mother driven to madness by the loss of her children. Her cries are not just of anger, but of profound grief. a grief that transcends time and space. It is this grief that gives her story its enduring power, a power that resonates with anyone who has ever known loss.
Her presence lingers in Esperanza, a constant shadow in the night. The villagers speak of seeing her silhouette by the river, a ghostly figure that vanishes as quickly as it appears. They say that on quiet nights, you can hear her mournful wails carried on the wind, a sound that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Her presence is a constant reminder of the tragedy that befell her, a tragedy that the village can never forget. And though the villagers fear her, they also pity her. They understand that her actions, as terrifying as they are, come from a place of deep sorrow. They leave offerings by the river, hoping to appease her spirit and bring her some measure of peace. They know that she is not just a monster, but a mother who has lost everything. Their fear is tempered by a profound sense of empathy, a recognition of the humanity that still lingers within her. For La Llorona is not just a monster. She is a mirror to their own deepest fears, a specter of grief forever bound to the river, forever searching for the children she can never reclaim. Her story is a reflection of the pain and loss that everyone carries within them, a reminder that even in death, love and sorrow endure. She is a part of the village's soul, a haunting presence that will never be forgotten.